Over the past 6 months, we've been building gym and fitness studio websites on GoHighLevel and turning them into conversion-based websites. And what I mean by that is when people go to your website, there's one objective that we have, and that's to acquire their contact information. And the problem in the fitness industry right now is that so many people have websites that don't convert. As an example, this is a client that just came to us recently that is looking to get their website revamped. The problem with their site is there's no call to action. There's no real structure. There's no information here. It's not designed to rank on Google, and it doesn't convert. And so when, let's say 100 people were to come to this website, maybe 1 or 2 are going to opt in and actually follow through. And this is problematic because this site in particular is ranking on Google. The problem is it's not set up for conversions. And so over the past 6 months, we've been building websites specifically on GoHighLevel and turning them into conversion websites. And so what I mean by this is, here's an example here with FitZone Milpitas, only 4 pages. Okay, so keep this in mind. It's very simple to build a high converting website on HighLevel that's fast, effective, and ranks on Google and gets traffic. And so just to show you let's just go to July here. July, 11% conversions, so that's 84 leads in 1 month from this website. Back in June, and these are obviously summer months, you can see it's converting at 11% as well. And I think this past month, if we go to August, I think it did a little bit worse, so 8%. And then the current month we're in, September, busier time of year, 3.88%. So it dropped off quite a lot, but still 31 leads coming in from the website. And so what I want to walk you through in this video is how to actually build a website on the GoHighLevel platform. Okay, so before I get into building the website, why should you even consider building it in HighLevel? Well, number one, it's the fastest landing page platform on the planet right now, meaning that if you're trying to rank on Google, the speed your pages load is one of the major ranking factors to think about. And so by having a website in HighLevel, you're already going to have some of the fastest landing pages ever. Not to mention all of the additional things that you get with HighLevel, including text and email management. You have these QR codes where you can basically get people to complete reviews, complete waivers just by scanning a little QR code. You have these chat widgets that can automatically appear on your website. You can create custom forms, surveys. The list goes on and on. You also have reputation management, so you can collect reviews very easily. And there's even an AI review response bot that will respond to all of the reviews that people leave you. And so by having everything in one place, we can track things a lot better. We don't have to learn multiple platforms like you have to if you're using some other website builder. For example, WordPress has a million different plugins, and you usually have to have a CRM that works with WordPress. And so you have to learn all the details of WordPress, including all the additional plugins that you're going to be using with it, that it creates a lot more complexity. And to be completely honest with you, you don't need to use a WordPress site with a massive blog to rank for a gym, yoga studio, or Pilates studio. You can build it on HighLevel, and we see it in our stats here with being able to rank sites very easily and get them to 5 to 10% conversions by simply using a HighLevel site. Okay, so let's get into the actual build out. What you're going to do is head over to Sites, Websites, and you're going to click New Website. Now, the other great thing about HighLevel is they have a ton of templates, and specifically in the health and wellness space here, you'll see a number of different gym style pages here. So you can have a yoga one, X gym, fitness and sports. And so what you're going to do is you can click this little eyeball button here, and you can view whatever template you like the look of. And once you've decided on that template, you can go ahead and start building it out. So let's just use this yoga one as an example. I can click on the little eyeball here. Now, of course, this is condensed, and so it looks a little squished. But if I scroll down here, you can see what it looks like, the different classes, pricing options, instructors, latest class videos, and then media. So if I click continue here, it's going to start adding this template immediately into the account. Okay, so once it's complete, it's going to bring you right into the template. And you can see here, it already looks a lot better when it's not condensed. I can scroll down and see all of the different information, all of the different styles and looks of this, and it looks pretty darn good from just a template perspective. And so if you like the look of this, then it's very simple to just come in here and replace all of this stuff with your information of your location. Something that you'll notice here in these templates is it's already pulling in the address that's associated with your HighLevel account. So if you head back into HighLevel, go to your settings, then you can see here the business name, legal name, and all this information, business phone number, business email, is automatically going to pull into the template here, which is really nice. And so all we have to do at this point is start to reformat everything. And something that's really great about GoHighLevel as well is they have what's called these AI systems that can help improve your writing. And so what you can do is I can come in here and click generate with AI. And something that I can easily do right now is give a brief description of what I want. And so as an example here, I could say, okay, so this is just a brief little description here that I came up with. Length of content, we're going to make it small. If we want to have any additional writing options, we can make it, more feminine if we want to. Number of variations, we could do 4, and we can click generate. And what's going to happen now is AI is going to help us start writing content for our website. Okay, so after some time, you'll see that there is some prompts here that populated. And so we can look through and start to pull information from here. So you can see here, welcome to our sanctuary of serenity and strength. Embark on a transformative journey where each breath connects you to your deepest self while the warmth of our hot yoga embraces you like a gentle hug. And so you'll already notice that by reading some of this stuff, it actually works really, really well to start to pull out some verbiage that we can use in our in the website. And so you can take a look at some of this stuff and have an idea of, if you want to use this, whatever ones you want to use, you can start to pull this and just quickly take it. Let's just say it's this one that we want to use. I can come in here, paste that in here, and now I have a section on the website that is easily created within a minute. Okay. And so something that I'll note here with this format is I would like to change this a little bit to structure it better. And so something that we can do here is in the background, let's say we want to make it so this image fits within here. Well, what we could do is we could actually grab this section's image here. If I copy this link, click on this one up here, put the background image there, you'll see that it now fits in here and it's removed that white background there. So I think this looks a lot cleaner. We could also remove this section up here if we didn't want it. I don't typically find it very helpful to have the phone number in here because you get a lot of spam calls in that case. And so by removing this, we could get rid of this entire section here. If you like it, you can keep it. But that's something I would look to do is remove that. Something else we would want to do is just take a look at the mobile section here. And so that's something you'll always have to do is check back and forth between the mobile and the desktop version to make sure that it is fitting properly with what you want. So very easily, all we're going to do is start to replace some of this stuff here. Generally speaking, you don't want to say welcome to your location. You want to have a statement here. And so the statement's going to be something that, is desirable for people who come to your site. And so if it's to tone and sculpt or tone and strengthen, it could be something like tone, strengthen, recover. Whatever it's going to be, it has to be a desired result that you want at the end of the day. For a lot of our studio websites, if you go back to this example here, it's going to be something along the lines of like fitness for all levels. And so in this case here, it could be, yoga for all levels, something like this. And then down here, rather than saying read more, what we typically want to do is have a pretty good offer. And so if we could do free class, could be get a free class, something like this. Okay, and it's already starting to come together. We don't need all of this content here. It is extra. So, online yoga, if you do offer that, you definitely will want to create that page that's specific to online yoga. In this case here, we're going to have home, about, classes, services, and contact. I also don't like this hover. And so what I'll do to get rid of that is scroll down to hover background color. And I'm just going to remove that to transparent. So you'll see here that it's gone. And I'm going to change the hover of the actual text. And so instead of it being that color, let's change it to green. And you can see here now it's this nice green that matches the look and feel of this. And so when you're looking at your navigation, something that you can do is you can add, extra items here. So very, very simple to add testimonials, something like this. Would be go to page, or we could do go to section. And so instead of it going to an individual page, it could scroll down to a specific section. And so how we could do that is if I look down here, let's just say we have something like this. What I would probably do here is change this to testimonials, something like this. And then what we could do is we can grab this section code. And so how we do this is you click on the button, you're going to go to advanced. So you can see that this section is highlighted. And then down here, you can see the CSS selector. So I can grab this, scroll to the top, click on testimonials here, click on edit. And then instead of it going to this website URL, I'm just going to take it to this section. And so when I submit that, when people click on this, it's going to scroll down to this testimonial section. Okay. And so from there, all we're going to do is we're going to start to replace things. And so you can see here, this is a specific image, okay, that they used for this. And so depending on what you want to include in this section and what you want to replace, you might need to find your own images here. And so the easiest way we found to do this when building websites is actually using Canva. And so the best thing that you can do is have a little Canva design section. And so in here, you can see that I have a number of these different images and poses for yoga. I have a couple other ones that I did for another site down here. But all we're going to do when we create these is you're going to go to elements and you're going to just find an element related to what it is that you're looking at. And so in this case here, if we go back to here, so healthy daily life. And so this works, but let's just say, we were looking for something to do with yoga poses, then we'd want to find an image like this. And so it could be as simple as typing in yoga poses. And then you'll see these graphics here. I can click see all, and we can start to pull in, these different elements that we wanted to use. So if it's this one that I wanted to use, I could put it here. And then all I would have to do is simply download that image with a transparent background, upload it into this system here. And so all I would do is click on the logo or the icon, that I want to change. So double click that, click this little button here, and then I can upload that new image that I just downloaded. Once I've downloaded that, I can double click it and it'll replace this image that they have here. Okay. And so as I scroll down here, something you're going to do is make sure everything fits. And so I can see here that there's this image here and a couple things you could change. You could change it to full center so that it scrolls kind of like this top image here. If we wanted to keep it center, we could just keep it as is, or I could do full center width, full 100% width and height. And so that looks a little funny. So I could technically change the padding here to make it look a little bit cleaner. So something like that could be nice. We could also change, the background color here. So if I wanted to change this section's background color, I could change it to black, whatever color we wanted to do here. I think it looks best with the white here, but you can start to make changes to this. Something that's really neat about HighLevel 2 is over here in the top section, you'll see these little buttons. And so what you're going to look at doing here is clicking on typography. And this is where you can change all of the font all at once. And so if you don't like the look of this, I could change it to, let's just say it's Lato, and you can see that it all changed here. And I can change all of this as well. I don't really love the look of that. It could be Open Sans. Okay. And there's also a bunch of different Google fonts that you could select through here. We could change it to Poppins. Okay. And so you can start to see that you can really customize pretty well everything on this site. And make as many adjustments as you need to. These buttons here, if I click on this button and scroll down on the section here where everything pops up, you're going to see all the details of the button. I can scroll to increase the size of the button. If I want it to be a little bit bigger, I can reduce the size of this font here by just clicking on the element and decreasing the size there. So something like that. Maybe still it's a little bit too big, so go down to 40 or 24. Looks a little bit better here. And what I might do as well is just remove some of the padding here because I do think it's a little bit, okay, that looks a little bit better here. And then I might add in some stuff. And so what I might do in this section here, which I think is really helpful to do, is actually adding in some SEO. And so what I mean by SEO is that search engine optimization. And so what we want to make sure we have on the site is something that indicates what the major service offering is that we have. And so in this case here, it's going to be yoga classes. Okay. Yoga classes in location. So whatever the location is, we're going to make sure we state that. Okay. And it's going to be something like this. Okay, very easy. We can change this to bold. We can also add a little icon. So you can see here there's an icon section. I can click icon and let's just say, type in yoga or meditate, or let's do pray. Okay, so it could be something like that. Don't love the look of that, but down here you can see the icon color. I could change it to the green. And I'll probably get rid of the bold. And you can start to see I'm starting to build up this site the way that I want to see it. So of course you can customize this as much as you want. You can add your logo here. So as I click on this navigation bar, scroll down to the bottom and I can see logo in menu, brand logo. So I can click on this, scroll down and find whatever logo that I need. So of course you're going to want to make sure you upload your logo to this section and then make sure that, you test to see if it's the right size. You'll notice here that you can adjust the size of it. So if I removed the width there, you can see that it looks a little bit funny there. And so having it, how they had it structured here looks a lot better. But as I scroll down, why you should, so what I would probably do here is the best yoga classes in location. Then I would make this fit. Okay, unlock a world of holistic wellness and inner peace through a transformation practice of yoga. Here's why you should make yoga a cornerstone in your lifestyle. Okay, and so I don't really love the look of this being so small and this being so big. So I might actually increase the size here just to make it fit a little bit better. Change the color here to black. And so we can get pretty creative with this. I could also shift this over if I want that image to take up more space. Whatever we want to do here that we think looks good, you can start to customize just like that. Okay, and then we could obviously have our little information. And then down here, I would probably keep this all the exact same. You definitely want to highlight an offer across your site because that's going to get people to take action and actually want to fill this out. So I'm just going to keep this the same. So this is 22 font size. So I can click on this, make this 22 font. Something else that you can do is if you want to copy a button, if you hover over the section that you want to duplicate, you can see this little button here. And when you click that, it creates another copy. And then there's this little drag button here that allows me to drag this to other sections. And so I can move this wherever I want to move it. And so that's really helpful there. Classes. So this is a pretty cool section here. I do like this where it gives a little bit of options of what types of classes that they have. I would include more information on what the classes include. And so as an example here, if I go to this site, if I scroll down, you can see some examples of the one-on-one group training, a little bit of information on that, bunch of stuff like that I think looks a lot cleaner. As I scroll down here, pricing options, we typically leave pricing off of our pages, and that's because it might deter people. Like if they don't get the value of your studio, then this might be a price shock. And so for them, they might see this and then immediately leave. And so rather than doing that, we might turn this into a section to collect information. And so as an example, here's a site we just finished building. If I scroll down, click on one of their website options here, down at the bottom here, there's a section that says our pricing is simple. We want to offer you the perfect membership for your needs. And then there's a form here that they have to fill out in order to get the pricing information. And that way we collect their lead information and it allows us to then follow up with them to try to get them booked in for a class. As I scroll down, you definitely want a testimonial section. And so this could be as easy as following this trend here and changing this to lost 50 pounds. Okay, and this could just be a quote from them. Now you want these to be legitimate testimonials, obviously. And then of course you'd have their actual testimonial section in here that you would replace. And then we don't need this section here. This could just be some testimonials, which would look really nice. You could also duplicate this section and have 6 testimonials. And something else that's really cool about GoHighLevel is if I wanted to add a section here, if I just click plus, add a column, and then you can see here, I can click here to add another element. And over on the left-hand side here, there's a number of different things that I can start to choose. So I can put in a headline, bullet list, whatever I want. But if I scroll down here, what I'm looking for is reviews. And so what I can do here is pull this in here, and you'll notice it's pulling in a review widget. Now, what this actually is if I go back into high level, so I'm going to save this page to keep all the changes I've made, click back, go to reputation management, and then go to widgets. So long as you have your Google account connected to high level, you can actually create custom widgets. And so what you can do is if you go to settings, integrations, and then connect your Google account. Once you have your Google account connected, it's going to pull all of your Google reviews into the software so that when you go to reputation management to create a widget, what you can do here is click on edit widget. Okay, and you can see here that I can start to pull in reviews from Google as well as Facebook if I have Facebook connected. So I'm going to remove Facebook. Let's do a grid style. You can see here what our clients say about us. You can start to add in things like this to create your widget that's going to be on your page. Now, of course, I don't have our proper one connected here, so you don't see any reviews populating in this section here. So testimonials are a massive part of building a website, and so you definitely need that in place. And so now that I head back into the site here, you'll notice that there's a bunch of different pages that have already been connected. And so as I go back into the builder, when I scroll down to the review section here, there's going to be that widget that I just created that will populate in this section here. Okay. Now, before I move on to the next couple pages, I did want to share a couple things about the buttons. And so right now you can see the button action in the bottom right says to open pop-up. And so over here in the top, we talked a little bit about changing all the typography. So you can change all of the, fonts right away by clicking that. You can change all the text color and the link colors at the same time as well by clicking that. But over here, there's a pop-up setting button, and this is the pop-up here. And so what you can do is you can click add row to add a column, click add element, and then you can click on form. Now, as of right now, you might not have a form set up in your account. And so what you'll have to do is actually build out a form that you can then link to this page here. And that way, if I click save here, let me just click save, and then you can click this little eyeball button to preview what the site looks like. And so as I scroll down here and click on this button, it's going to bring us to this form page here. Now, of course, I don't have the form set up quite yet, and I'll just show you that in a second, but that's the general idea here. It's going to pop up that form, they fill out their information, and then we get them set up for, coming to the studio. And so how we set up that form is once we're in this section here, if I click back, go to forms, and then you can click add form, choose from templates, and you can choose once again from the health and wellness templates here to basically grab a very easy designed form. So I could click on this one. It's just a nice yoga form. Click continue. And it's going to build that form out for us. Okay, so the form was created. And so now I have this beautifully designed form with all of this information that's being collected here. And so pretty easy to do once you have this set up. Now, I will say this has way too many different things for people to put in terms of information. I would get rid of address, city, state, postal code. If you need this information, then you're of course going to want to keep it. But I'm going to get rid of all of this information for right now because I do not need it. I just need the basic information. I'm going to get rid of this too. We'll keep this because this is important for terms and service. And over in this section here, you'll notice that there's these little 3 buttons. And if I click on this, it's going to show a link. Excuse me. And so what's important here is that you actually have your privacy policy link that is going to be connected here. If you don't have a free privacy policy, you can create one. It's very easy. If you just go to free privacy policy generator, looks like this, app.freeprivacypolicy.com. You can create a privacy policy for your website really easily by just going through these steps here. It'll give you a link and you can just grab that link and use that in this section here, which will be your new privacy policy. And that way you are following terms of service and everything's good to go. And then what I would do here is get your free yoga class. And I would get rid of this. I'd also get rid of this background image. I don't think it's necessary. So if I click on these little style and options button here, this is where you can start to change how this is designed. So if I go to colors and background, I can see that there's an uploaded file here. I'm actually going to remove it. Same with this one here, unless we want to keep this cool looking marble background, which I do think looks pretty good. And so I'll keep that, but I'm going to change the font color to that green that matches the actual website. And so I'm just going to make a guess here, but you of course would want the actual color code. But for the sake of this example, I'm just going to use that. We're going to go to theme, options, make sure everything looks good here. I'm going to click on the button now in the form. And so just so you know, if I click off of the elements here, this is the entire form as a whole. If I remove this and click on a specific element, now I'm editing this element. And so this is the button. So I can click the background, paste the green color in here, copy that. So now we can see that that button changed. And I'm also going to change some of these font colors if I can. Just change that one to the green. This color here looks like it's following some of the templated colors. Okay, it's right here. It's so layout here, advanced settings. If I scroll down here to the label, I can see the label color now. There we go. So we can get rid of that. We just got to click on this, put in the right color. Perfect. And then the short label, it looks like there is another color for the input field. Here it is. Get rid of that. Okay, and so now we have that. We might want to change this just to a black color. Let's just see what this looks like. Label color. Let's change this one. This is the one. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so just like that, we're going to click save. Now we're going to head back into the website, and this is where we're going to link the website to the actual main page. And so if I click edit here, we're then going to head back into the pop-up settings, and we're going to select that form we just created. So we're going to scroll down, yoga registration form. And so you can see here that it now fits. And so something that we could do is in the pop-up settings here, I can actually remove the background. So if I do this, the background now goes away. If I go to advanced, there's a border set up here. So I can actually just remove the border, and now it looks something like this. And then what we could do is if we wanted to add some padding, we could go back to the form and start to customize the form how we would want it. But for now, we'll just keep it as is. It looks pretty good to me. We'll just obviously want to tweak this and make it a little bit prettier as we go about. But you get the general idea. You can customize pretty much anything that you want in this navigation section. Something that I like to do is add a section that says more. And then from there, we just keep it blank like this. And then we can add testimonials, contact, these types of elements. If we just grab them, we can actually put them into the more section. We can also do services down here. Classes and services, pretty well the exact same thing. I wouldn't include a service page. I'd just have classes, home, classes, testimonial, and more. And then you can see the drop down here has contact and about us. So they can get that information there. And so that's pretty much it for the general structure. It's very simple to do, drag and drop builder wise. When it comes to the actual SEO side of it, the main thing you need to worry about is having your specific classes that you offer in throughout the page. So yoga classes, Pilates classes, bar classes, if you have CrossFit style classes, group training, those types of keywords are going to be really important to rank on Google. And we'll definitely make another video on how to actually design all the little elements for SEO purposes. But the main thing you're going to want to fill out is this SEO metadata section with what you want to appear when people search it on Google. This is essentially what's going to pop up when somebody types in your yoga studios in your location, whatever you want to pop up on Google. If it's, your brand name, yoga classes, or brand name, CrossFit, whatever it is, that's the title. The description is what shows up below in the Google listing. And then keywords are going to be the keywords you want to rank for. Author, that's just going to be the name of your brand. Social image, you can click this little button and just select an image that you want to show up on Google. And that's pretty much it. Once you click update SEO metadata, that's all going to be updated. And then so long as you make sure to fill this in with your information, as well as making it look good on mobile as well. This is really important. As you can see here, this background image does not look very good. And so changing this to make sure that it fits properly is going to be very important so that, it doesn't look poor or bad on the mobile version, but it looks good on the desktop version. I hope this video was valuable. And if you have any questions about building a website, you can book a free strategy session on my website, untaprevenue.com. Happy to jump on a call for free and walk through that process and even help you set up your own website for you.